Material starting off with Scott's Miracle Grow. Now, as we've known since basically April, we have been in a nasty downward, just fall off the face of the earth. Um, but if we look last year, this could be like seasonal, right? So last what is this? October 30th, well, end of this month last year is when we started a nice upward, like literally 147 to like basically a 100-point gain in 3 months. Um, it looks kind of like we have found our bottom down here. This was, if you remember, this was our downward first target. Our second target was one at the 129. But it seems like we might have um, switched a little bit. As you see, it's very subtle, right? They're not switching or like changing trend very fast, but it's very subtle. As we've made a new high, a higher low, made a new high, higher low, didn't make a new high. However, higher low, tightening up to where we could break out of this 151 right here. I like this one. I'd probably say Scott's Miracle Grow. Um, Out of the ones you've seen thus far, I say SMG's probably. Um, Hold on, I'm writing down some notes. SMG's looking amazing. I like it. Eco Lab, uh, Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, we had a decentness. We got, oh, that's one thing I need to look. Okay, we don't have earnings anytime soon either, so that's decent. Earnings would be coming out 10/26. So just be easy with I mean with all these earnings are going to be very difficult, but what if you've noticed, we had this, we came back down or we got destroyed. That's our low. Now, we made a higher we attempted, but we didn't make a new low, right? That's the best way I could put it. And we had decent volume. Let's check out our last decent volume. We had our down right here, right around the same spot. Um, Honestly, I have to see. I kind of want to see what happens after earnings. It's too close to really want to want to play before earnings. But if you wanted to be risque, then I would bid it up into earnings. Well, come down at 217 and bid it up, but I'd be careful. Lundell Basal. Okay. Yeah, we got earnings coming up. What 10/29? They're next week or the week after that. So they're not like directly affecting everything. However, this just looks. We look like we're going higher since our September 20th low. We look like we're steady, kind of climbing higher. I would just kind of be careful. We're close to some resistance. Kind of come back down to maybe 98, 96. Maybe not the 96 all the way, but 96 would make sense and then go higher depending on how the earnings are in the global or the overall market. DuPont. Now I like this action right here, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low. Um, Kind of a breakout of the 71, this area right here. Get rejected at the 100% and the teal lines we drew. So that kind of makes sense. Maybe find some more support down at the 71.61 and then go higher. But we could dip down a little bit lower, maybe into the 70, 90, 97. You know what I mean? Or even down to the 70, 80. It's kind of anywhere throughout this whole area we find some support, right? Then that's where I would see. Uh, just I think the market's still kind of gapping down this morning. So I wouldn't expect it to just all the way to be at 75 tomorrow. But give it a little bit if we can kind of convincingly, excuse me, get above this 72.31, then I'd be more of a prospective buyer. Dow Chemical. Sorry, my eyes. $10.21. I'd be easy with Dow Chemical as well. It's I mean we have literally gone hit our target, downward target, hit our second downward target, and then just kept kind of falling. But if we can maintain the 57.07, then I would be, I mean, I say kind of bullish. I mean, we are, here's a low, here's a little low, here's a little bit higher low. Um, we're high and tight right here, right? It's very tight in this range since basically September 30th. So the whole 18 days of October, since it's the 18th, that's what I'm saying. We've been basically in this really tight range coming out with the earnings. If, I mean, you could bet that the earnings are going to be good and bet it's going to go higher, but you could just as easily say the earnings are going to be bad and bet that it's going to go lower. So I wouldn't really touch this until after. BASFY. I mean, actually, look at this. Look at this. We double bottom come October 6th, and now we're holding our green line. If we hold our teal line, yeah, up and away, baby, yeah. Rio Tinto. I mean, gaps. We don't believe it's called Rio. We believe it's called Gap RS because it will gap you to death. Um, and it's all over the place. So just be very careful. Um, I don't say that in the long term they're a negative company, but to trade this and to play, you gotta kind of be good, right? And I almost would say that the trading volume, like the option volume, is really low. I am very wrong. Wow. There's some options out there. So if you're an options trader, you could Rio Tint this, and Gaps RS is actually pretty good for an option trader. Just to keep that in mind. Remember Rio Tinto, we're calling it Gaps RS today. Gaps RS wouldn't be bad at all for, I mean, if you're for a speculation on for options, because right here, this is out of the blue, right? We're looking pretty good, and then the next morning, we dropped 4 points. Now on options, these options right here would have been a little bit of nothing, and the next day they would have been a lot of something. However, just be very careful because if you anticipate it was going to go higher and it gapped City down, then no, not very good. And you know how they usually say, most stocks kind of fill the gaps. They tend to fill the gaps. Well, you know, with Rio Tinto, it will fill a gap with a gap, right? So just remember that this is a very, very speculative stock, um, and I wouldn't bet the house on it. Let's just put it like that. International paper is not doing very well at all. Right, we gapped down, filled the gap, and then just continue on its way down to our March low or March Fibonacci 1027. I stay everywhere away from this until 1027 to let me know what's going on. We had a massive volume, well, not really massive, a decent volume spike. At that point in time, we had one over here and we had one right here. So just keep that in mind. I don't know what that means because, well, this volume spike kind of brought us up, and then this volume spike kind of brought us down. So maybe this volume spike will bring us back up. Mosaic had a lovely week. This last week was kind of jibber jabber, but the weeks leading up to this was a massive, beautiful week. We hit our high, which would make sense. We kind of pull off a little bit. Let's kind of Fibonacci this to see. Yeah, we'll go from this one right here. So there you go. Kind of give us a better target. Kind of, let everybody see kind of what's going on. It makes sense. Let's hit the 50. As we don't be able to do, excuse me, and I apologize for jibber jabber. Now, this can come all the way down to, now it's pretty strong, right? I would say I don't see it coming down to 38.93 as we're pretty much holding that 786. But if the market crashes, maybe we're coming down to 39.71 and refinding or finding footing again and off to our next target of 44. Sherwin Williams, right? Now, we got earnings coming up pretty soon, 10/26. I could see this kind of like pushing into earnings, pushing higher. We might even break a high into earnings. Just be very careful. I mean, earnings gave us a beautiful run last quarter. So just be careful. This could give us a nasty, beautiful run or a nasty kind of draw. But we know we're done with September, and then we got the Christmas rally coming up. So I'm seeing we'll probably be breaking out to new highs before New Year's.